Recently, the company NGG announced bankruptcy, a move that has stunned many, though in hindsight, it feels somewhat inevitable. NGG was a luxury fashion brand that started with significant financial backing and quickly grew into a global player in the fashion industry. Originally founded with a multi-million-dollar investment, NGG initially focused on creating exclusive, high-end products like handbags, shoes, and premium apparel. They positioned themselves as a symbol of elegance and opulence, attracting a wealthier clientele. Their products, made from luxurious materials and designed by top-tier fashion experts, were priced in the thousands, appealing to a niche market of elite consumers. However, despite its initial success, NGG struggled to maintain its momentum in the face of a shifting economic landscape. In 2020, the company was acquired by Farfetch, a global luxury e-commerce platform, in hopes of boosting its online presence. Yet, despite the acquisition, NGG faced mounting difficulties as luxury goods became less desirable during economic uncertainty, and the company's fortunes dwindled until its eventual collapse. This bankruptcy marks a sad but predictable end for a brand that was once the epitome of high fashion. The struggle of NGG is hardly an isolated case in the luxury industry. Many luxury brands have faced steep declines since 2020, with some seeing their profits drop by as much as 30% or more. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and Prada, for example, all experienced significant sales drops. Luxury goods, once perceived as symbols of success and status, are no longer in demand in the same way, especially as the global economy falters. Major brands have been forced to adjust their pricing strategies, offering discounts and scaling back production. This has led to job cuts at high-end retail stores across major cities, and flagship stores in places like New York, Paris, and London have shuttered. The global disruption caused by the pandemic and the economic fallout from inflation has changed the purchasing habits of consumers. Even though some luxury brands attempted to adapt by embracing e-commerce, many still struggled to keep pace with the drastic shifts in consumer behavior. It's not just the luxury industry facing these challenges. Even some of the biggest tech companies, like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, have experienced significant drops in profit and workforce reductions. Amazon, for instance, reported a 10% drop in profits in 2023, and Microsoft saw a dramatic fall in revenue, particularly in its hardware and cloud divisions. Many tech companies, once seen as invincible market leaders, have been forced to lay off thousands of employees, scale back operations, and rethink their future strategies. In the case of Apple, a brand synonymous with innovation, even they have struggled to maintain their status, with their stock prices dipping as consumers opted for more affordable alternatives and delayed upgrading to new devices. This decline is not surprising, given that tech companies often rely on continued innovation to drive long-term growth. When those innovations slow down, or when the economy falters, even the most dominant tech giants are vulnerable. Luxury products, in contrast, don't have the same transformative qualities that tech products do. While a new iPhone or a cutting-edge AI system can spark consumer interest and investment, luxury handbags or shoes, while desirable, don't offer the same potential for long-term economic growth or technological advancement. If the tech giants, the icons of the digital age, are faltering, it's no surprise that the luxury sector would follow suit. This brings us to the prophetic vision, shared by Christian pastor and visionary Brandon Biggs. In one of his visions, Biggs saw Jerome Powell, chairman of the Federal Reserve, inflating a balloon, desperately trying to prevent it from bursting. Powell's anxiety in the vision was palpable, as he feared the consequences of inflation spiraling out of control. Despite his best efforts, the balloon eventually popped. Biggs interpreted this vision as a metaphor for the economic crisis that is already underway. The metaphor of the balloon represents the US economy being artificially inflated through policies like low interest rates and quantitative easing. Powell's efforts to keep the balloon from popping are symbolic of the Fed's attempts to manage inflation and keep the economy afloat. But the inevitable burst signifies the unsustainable nature of these policies and the impending crash. Looking at the reality of inflation in recent years, it's clear that Biggs's vision holds relevance. In the US, inflation has surged, with prices for basic goods and services reaching record highs. Items like eggs, bread, and milk have seen price hikes of up to 40%, while energy prices have skyrocketed, with gas and electricity costs increasing dramatically. In Europe, the situation is equally dire, with inflation rates reaching levels not seen in decades. In the UK, for example, energy bills have doubled, and food prices have surged by 20% or more, causing hardship for millions of families. These rising costs have placed an enormous burden on consumers, eroding their purchasing power and forcing many to cut back on discretionary spending, including on luxury goods. With the economy in freefall, it's not hard to see why Jerome Powell's balloon is on the verge of bursting. The economic system, propped up for so long by unsustainable policies, is nearing its breaking point, and the inevitable crash is fast approaching. The most significant shift, however, may come in the form of a change in values as we move further into the age of Aquarius. This astrological age, which began around 2020, signifies a shift away from materialism and towards spiritual growth, innovation, and collective consciousness. In the age of Pisces, material wealth and individualism dominated, with an emphasis on luxury, status symbols, and accumulating possessions. However, the age of Aquarius, ruled by the intellectual and forward-thinking sign of Aquarius, focuses on the collective good, technological innovation, and spiritual enlightenment. This age encourages the expansion of consciousness and a deeper connection with universal truths. As this shift takes place, it's highly likely that material goods, such as luxury bags, expensive clothing, and other status symbols, will face a decline in popularity. People are more likely to seek fulfillment from experiences, personal growth, and technological advancements rather than from physical possessions. This change is already evident in the growing interest in high-tech industries and virtual technologies. Artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality, and space exploration are areas that are rapidly gaining traction, and their potential for growth is immense. Companies like Tesla, SpaceX, and Google are at the forefront of these innovations, and these industries are attracting more investment as they promise to shape the future. In contrast, luxury brands, which rely on the cyclical nature of consumer desire, may find themselves struggling to maintain relevance as consumers shift their focus to products and experiences that offer tangible benefits and long-term growth. The future, it seems, will belong to technologies that are changing the way we live, work, and interact, rather than to material possessions that offer fleeting satisfaction. While it's easy to dismiss luxury goods as frivolous, it's important to ask, are they really worth the price? Luxury brands market themselves as offering superior quality, but when you compare them to other high-quality goods, the difference can often seem negligible. Outdoor gear, for example, may have a higher price tag, but it offers concrete utility, such as waterproofing, warmth in extreme temperatures, and durability. Luxury products, on the other hand, are more about status than function. And as the economy tightens, people may begin to reassess the value of spending thousands of dollars on something that provides little more than a label. It's clear that as we move forward into this new age, the demand for luxury goods will likely decline, while products that offer real value, whether through innovation or utility, will see a surge. This is also a reflection of broader societal shifts, as evidenced by political changes like Donald Trump's re-election. The outcome of the election reflects a desire for change, as many Americans were dissatisfied with the status quo and felt the need for a leader who would bring about significant reform. If people had been happy with the current direction, the election would likely have gone in a different way. The fact that a significant portion of the population voted for Trump, despite the divisions and challenges he represents, shows that many are looking for a drastic change, particularly in response to economic hardship. This sentiment is not isolated to the US, but reflects a global desire for change in the face of economic challenges. So, as luxury brands face increasingly difficult times, it's not hard to predict their downfall. The economic pressures, coupled with a shift in values towards spiritual and technological growth, are likely to leave them behind. However, as the predictions suggest, high-tech industries and virtual experiences, AI, VR, AR, and the like, will flourish, creating a new future that benefits more people than the luxury market ever could.